Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Unfortunately, I have become involved on Facebook trying to explain to some people younger than me why they should vote. One, the biggest reason, in my opinion, why you should vote is because you pay taxes. You need to have a say in where your money goes and or comes back and what is done with in your community. I am a big proponent. I believe in the power of the votes. And I explain to people, yes, I've been involved in campaigns from student government activities in college and within the community I live in. I'm going to say that again. From student government when I was in college and throughout certain elected officials' campaigns that I've been involved in. We need to know what goes on in the voting system. From the transportation of the voting machines into the polling places. What goes on at the polling places? How to assist people to vote. Registering people to vote. And I get asked why. I say, yeah, because I've seen it make a difference. And I tell them, when I was at Queens College, spring of 1979, Queens College, we amassed the largest percentage of students who participated and voted. The largest percentage. We amassed 82% student participation, which was a national record for college campuses, I think up until the early 90s when I think Duke broke that record. So I've seen where voting makes a difference. If the people in Ferguson voted like they were supposed to, registered and voted like they were supposed to, 60% of that stuff that goes on in that town wouldn't go on.
I agree with you in theory.
Did you see when they had those press conferences? You could count the number of black folk that were sitting on the steps, sitting at the tables, standing on the steps behind the police chief or whatever. I think I counted 5, and 2 of them were appointees. Appointees.
Can I address the elephant in the room?
There's no reason with all those black folk in that town that there are that many white elected officials running Ferguson. There's no reason for it.
Well, there is.
There's no. Come on. I know we're going to be sarcastic for a bit here, but there's no reason for it.
No, there is a reason. First, let me preface this by saying I agree with you. I have no argument with what you're saying. But I think that the thing that we have to look at, and this is not just in the black community, this is in America, just across the board, because if you look at the last midterm elections, people didn't show up.
Of course.
Now, the question is, we can sit here and we can say, oh, you guys, you shouldn't show, you should show up, you should do this, you should do that. But the question that everybody keeps glossing over or missing is why don't they do it? And we can't dismiss And we can't dismiss the reasons why they don't, because the reasons why they don't are legitimate reasons.
They don't pay attention and understand.
No, that's the easy way.
Right.
Because what it is, when you do that, it's almost as if you're saying that it's their fault, and you're looking and you're saying that the reasons for them not doing it are illegitimate, and that's just not the case.
I'm going to go as far as to say it, because if you voted for your city council, you voted in your state legislature elections like you're supposed to, you voted for your senators and House of Representatives like you're supposed to, year in, year out, every 2 years, every 4 years, every 6 years, your man in charge would not have the issues that he faces with Senate and the House of Representatives he faces today.
That is technically true. But if a prostitute didn't have her pimp, then she wouldn't need the money. She wouldn't have the money can go directly to her, and then she wouldn't need him. The question is, why is there a pimp? And I think think about it, the argument that you're using, and like I said, I agree with you. I'm not even arguing with you. But the argument that you're using as to why they don't vote is been used 1,000 times. Whenever the people don't vote, everybody says, oh, see, you get what you deserve because you didn't vote. It's totally missing why. Why are the majority of the electorate out in America and in our community not energized about going to the voting booth? Everybody can't be stupid. There has to be underlying reasons why that's going on. Now that's a show within itself, so I ain't even going to get into that, because I could just use the midterm elections as an example to tell you to show you exactly where I'm going with this. But one thing about the Republicans and conservatives, no matter how batshit crazy their constituency is, they always represent their constituency. So if you think Obama's a Muslim, your conservative is going to say, well, Obama's a Muslim. Knowing that it's not true, but as long as you believe it, he'll say it. They represent their constituency. The difference between them and the Democrats is the Democrats' constituency is mostly, like liberal and Democrat is not exactly the same thing. I mean, liberals tend to go with Democrats, but they're not. That's because there's nowhere else for them to go, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the Democratic Party is not a liberal party. It's basically a corporatist party.
Mm-hmm.
And their counter to the conservatives is, well, I'm not one, so vote for me. It's not as if they're saying I'm a liberal and I agree with liberal policies, I agree with progressive policies or independent policies. No, it's like I don't have an R in front of my name. Vote for me. And that's the reason why they get their ass handed to them when they don't embrace their base. Like when Obama runs for office, the 2 times that he ran as a progressive, a liberal progressive. And he handed the Republicans ass to them both times. But when he gets into office, he doesn't represent liberal and progressive ideas. He represents corporate ideas. So the problem is people are tired and people are disillusioned by the process. Now there is a way to solve that, but the way to solve that is not by berating the electorate. The way to solve that, by as far as I can tell in the time that I've dedicated to it, is to get money out of politics.
No doubt.
That should be where the energy is. Get money out of politics. When your representatives are bought and paid for by corporations, it doesn't matter I'll give you a perfect example of the disillusionment of voting. Didn't Al Gore get more votes than George Bush?
Yep.
So why wasn't Al Gore the president? You're saying go out and vote, and if you vote, then the person who gets the more votes will win. Well, that didn't happen.
It's not to say that.
Well, you have this what's called check and balance, popularity versus, just like you said, corporate sponsorships. I'm going to say the electorate, the popularity of the production of the state, which is where the electoral vote comes in, which is why Bush won the electoral vote versus Gore winning the popular vote.
Right.
Now
we know
your
that.
argument within your argument, within what you're saying, what do you say to the Bible toters who choose to not vote because they believe in the kingdom of God will wave the swift sword and bring justice to everybody?
I would tell them to read their Bible where it says, give Caesar's things to Caesar's and God's thing to God. Religion has nothing to do with politics.
Supposedly.
Read their own Bible. The problem is most of the people that's the biggest, Bible thumpers don't read their Bible. They don't have a clue what's in the Bible.
They
right
have
there.
a clue.
Separation.
They have a clue. They just interpret it entirely. I don't want to say wrong, but their interpretation, their interpretation of it is just off base, and I can't argue with them because
you're talking about
know
conservatives, right?
Whoever.
Yeah, because those type of people tend to be conservative.
I can't argue with a Bible toter because I don't know. They can carry the Bible in their hand, clutched in their hand, and recite verse, chapter, book. This I can't do that, but I have read the Bible. I have reading material on other belief systems. I say belief systems because I choose not to use the word religion. But something has to be done because I believe and I've seen what the power of the vote can do. Case in point, I'm going to go in the community of Jamaica, New York. Reverend Floyd Flake from the St. Albans Community AME Zion Church. He ran. He was a representative for Jamaica for 11 years, and he was able to mobilize the community to vote and bring money back into Southeast Jamaica to build schools, to build recreation center, to add addition to his church, build more cathedral, build a larger cathedral. To mobilize other job empowerment programs into the community. Had a high school built, put street lights up. This is why you should vote. To represent your community, to make your community safer than what it is. And if you do that like you're supposed to, if we had done that, like we're supposed to for, I'm going back, 20, 30 years. To this day, I firmly believe Obama would not have the issues that he's facing between the Republicans and Democrats in the Senate and in the House of Representatives today.
Well, I'm going to give you an example using Obama as to why people are disillusioned. Obama, when he first got in, the Democrats had majority in the Senate and the House. What happened? Anything that they wanted to pass, there was nothing standing in the way of Obama doing anything, any piece of legislation that he felt was liberal or progressive, he could have pushed through. They did not have to compromise and come up with the Affordable Care Act. They could have passed a single payer. And the Republicans couldn't have done a damn thing about it. What did they do? They negotiated. You're in the control. You can pass your. But do you think the Republicans, if they have a 60-40 ratio, that they're going to negotiate with the Democrats, or are they going to push through their legislation? See, people are disillusioned, and we have to. Like, I personally don't get angry because people don't vote. What I do is I look at the reasons why they don't vote.
There you go. And
address those reasons and say that I don't dismiss them as it, because not voting is a political statement as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a political statement. It's a damning political statement, actually, because the Republicans had a 9%, I think 8% approval rate after they shut the government down. So how is it possible that when you have a 9 to 8% approval rate, that now when the midterm elections come, you win? They actually had Democrats running as Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
There was Democrats. I can show you the articles and the videos where Democrats were running saying, "I'm not Barack Obama," or "I don't know that dude. I'm not down with him." This is from your own party. And then people wonder why people get disillusioned and say, "You know what? Screw you guys. You guys ain't about nothing."
It's about the skin color.
And it's going to happen again. The people will be mobilized to vote Hillary Clinton into office. That's the big thing. When Barack Obama goes, she's going to be the next in line, and everybody thinks that that's just a strong blow for womanhood and for liberalism and progressiveness and da-da-da. Hillary Clinton is a corporatist Democrat. She's going to be, if you thought Obama was a Republican, she's going to be even more Republican and more war hawkish.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the problem. It's like, but you know who the person is who actually represents liberal and progressive ideas?
Who's that?
Elizabeth Warren.
She's a brainstorm.
If you had to put Elizabeth Warren, if you put Elizabeth Warren in a contest with Hillary Clinton amongst liberals and progressives, she would slaughter Hillary Clinton in terms of support.
She's a brainstorm. I listened to her on, was it Face the Nation?
But my point is this. This is my point. The reason for me even raising her name. The point is, she's not going to get the elect. She's not going to get the. She's not going to represent the Democratic Party. Even though her ideas and her principles and her issues on policy goes right in line with the base of the Democratic Party, she's not going to be their representative. Hillary Clinton is going to be.
I agree with you.
And we have to address that. This is the reason why people get disillusioned with the whole process, and they don't want to go out. Because why go out and vote if you're going to vote somebody in the office that doesn't represent your interests? See, the Republicans and the conservatives don't have to worry about that. They know that when they vote somebody in, they're going to work in the interests of the Republican Party. They're going to work in the interests of corporations, business. That's who their base is. The Democrats vote, their base is liberals and progressives and people who's into all of the policy issues that the American people overwhelmingly approve of are on the side of the liberal and progressives, not the Democratic Party. But the Democratic Party doesn't want to embrace that, because if they do, they're going against their corporate sponsors. And herein lies the problem. So the reason why people are not voting has to be addressed. It's easy to say, "Oh, you don't vote, so that's the reason why you're getting what you're getting, because you won't get out." No, that's not the issue. There's a reason why they're not doing it, and that has to be addressed before you get the people energized again. Ask Barack Obama. He knows how to do it.